Oh. Finally got my favorite gun again. I know where to get it at now. This gun's awesome. But yeah. Shit's ramping up. No, I need to go to the... I know where I need to go. No. I think it's over here. There it is. We got the meat rider. But yeah, there's just... People are trying to push a communist revolution in our country. Because they all like sucking big corporate dick. And since they're money retards, that's basically what they fucking do. Matter of fact, they all fucking do it. I would tell people it's easier to follow someone and to have them give you money. It's basically slavery.
Want to be suppressed?
Yeah, I don't think people understand. Like, it's always these rich, dumb fucks that always sit there and say how good communists is. Now, these people are like invincible on social media and that because they talk like. Like, everyone's attacking Hassan Piker's retarded ass. Dude's a rich millionaire person. He was brought up being rich. And, like, everyone's talking about it now. It's like, yeah, all these guys come in our country now, you know. It's either their parents are rich because they fucking did stuff. They probably stole from people and shit, which is probably what they do. Because people don't get rich super quickly. Unless they, like, first off, work really hard in something like real estate. Because real estate, you get rich as fuck with that. But become a billionaire. Anyone that becomes a high, like, millionaire person, that they know they fucking work businesses or super, you know, heavy. I don't know, because my uncle is, you know, he's a business owner. And he always talks about, you know, working 70, 80 hours a week and shit.
Are you scared yet?
And it's like, yeah.
Sure you want to do this?
You know, like, streamers don't fucking count as a job. It's a side part. Like, I truly don't believe that people that just sit there and fucking stream making easy ass money it's not a job. You're a public servant. You serve the fucking people. That's like the whole point of being a streamer, you know. Yes, you can have fun playing games and that, show your interests, but you're a public servant, you know. People want to respect what you say and that. Yeah, this gun's fucking actually good. I need to get more power to it though. Ansel 52 accurate. What? 56 novels. Yeah, I find this gun a new DLC. This gun's actually really fucking good for this character.
Can you feel the end approaching?
Here they come! I know it!
But yeah, it does make it really funny. Everyone's talking about how communist actually is and that, and people say, well, communism is great, socialism's great. Like, what do you mean socialism's great? Oh, the steal money from everybody else and to give it all. Like, they weren't trying to steal from the rich. The rich are rich. People say they're trying to take the rich. The rich are always rich. If you take half of their money, they still have more than everybody else. Someone had $1 million. If someone had $1 million in that, you took $500,000. They still have $500,000 they can invest and make more money off that shit. Like it's just how it works. But when you have zero fucking money, you have to work for it to get it up. Guess what? You gotta pay bills and shit. Like if someone's gift, you know, a house, they don't have to worry about paying for that house. What do you drop? He dropped the tapper. This piece of shit.
Oh, my hernia! It's a roper!
That's just really funny. Insufficient space.
You're giving me goosebumps in a bad way.
You see me on this fight! I feel...
I hate you.
I see them. This ain't over! Tossing a grenade! Don't move! Now get him! Hurry! Right time! It's true! Owie! Today! Not so good!
You ain't ready to die. Run!
You're not understand! I'm a big grenade!
Tossed by a bolt. You're dying all over the place.
I leave my second best friend! You call me?
Oh
No more keys! I'm down! Hands are Someone carry me down home! I said out! Going out! I'm taking me with a good ride! Is this the final bedtime? Come on! This ain't over! Now you lie! If that don't make you blood boil, you ain't got it! No, the end.
It's already too late, sweets.
Come on! Get some! Like you know I'm killing. That's the best you can do!
Got insurance people.
Going out!
Never gets old.
Is this the final bedtime?
Probably not gonna be as good as the Dark Beast. Dark Beast is fucking ferociously powerful. The thing of it is, like, I want to go down a certain part of my skills and get something that gives me. Like, all these give me, like, fire and shit. I don't think this one is. I don't think this one's radiation. Well, because it gives me this. This is really good. Deals gun damage. There's a chance. Small rate hazard. That's just dealing gun damage, though. Yeah, I could just get this up, though, because this is really good. This is just pure overtime damage. It's at 5%, so it's a 25. I don't think it stays with 5%, but even still, hitting them constantly, never constantly spawn that. Oh no. Oh, here's the electrical one. Shock damage goes up 40% from that. This gives me movement speed. Apply shock. It's the handgun while moving. While walking. That might actually be something to look forward to. Was this deal gun damage? There's a chance to spawn a. Man, they sparked that. Seek out enemies. This is 80% of the gun damage dealt. Chance is 10%. What else? 2 seconds. I think I'm gonna try that out. I mean, the life drain thing is ferociously fucking good, but I don't know. But yeah. I think when people look at like the Democratic Party, if you want to talk about politicals and that they're all just leaning so far left, and they're all this like they have to keep this up because they're all being paid to keep it up. If they cut off their money and that, they know they can't live a normal life because they're already propaganda so high they can't like get a job anywhere else because no one's gonna hire a fucking massive communist person. That's why when these people take a seat of power, and you can look throughout history and that like when Democrats were more moderate based people in that, they didn't really like push agendas, but they pushed them, you know, they pushed agendas, so to speak, but they pushed them really fucking slowly. You gotta think, after people always do, after the Second World War, they start pushing communist agendas on our country. If you want to say communist, you could say satanic. They don't want people to be free. They don't want rich people. They want to be in power. They want to be rich. That's why they bring them into these commie countries like China. Dude, I just learned like China's news is all over the place with people like massively just like killing random people and that because their government sucks ass. And these people are mentally fucked up or they have no way of getting out of something because people don't support each other, as in the government doesn't support them. I say stupid. When governments fail, which they always fucking do, you go to God. You go to God for everything. That's the reason why people that live in communist countries now, have their issues in that. They have their issues in that because, first off, they rely on their fucking governments for everything. Maybe you should not do that. Maybe you should rely on God for everything, because God is the one that is the epicenter of everything to begin with. Like, it's good for people to be fair and share life together and love and that. Fuck yeah, do it all the way. But be very, very prideful in that. Look what Seth talk about Hassan Piker. Hassan Piker's a fucking twat waffle. Dude's an overly privileged, I yell about shit because people believe me type person. And this dude is spreading communist fucking bullshit all over the internet. And like everybody that's sitting there watching this shit, they're all America haters. And then if someone goes on his channel that actually wants to say something that's morally right, he fights against it. Yeah. That's what these Islamic people do. These people that sit there and follow the Quran and hate everything, they believe their people more better than everybody else. It's like, you aren't giving shit. Your countries, no offense to Islamic countries, but most of them are not even fucking that good to begin with. You know, like the main ones, Iraq, Iran, and Afghanistan, they're not the best fucking countries to live in because there's nothing fucking there. Like we even say, you can't make fun of the dumb and the weak. It's not making fun of it, it's just proving the truth that they're weak and dumb. They can get better, but they choose not to. And that's the funniest thing that everyone seems to fucking sit there and fight against. They want to fight against what is true. And then dumb fucks sit there and, well, they're just fucking stupid, but... Well, it's likely that's just what it is. People are just fucking stupid. Yeah, I'm gonna go here and I'm going to get the Dark Bees and see how powerful it is with her. But yeah, people always seem to do this stuff, and they walk around with their heads cut off, and these people try to believe that their lives were better than that because they were given all this crap and that from stealing or from, whatever that it is. Not dude. This is why I fucking hate when people use money as a power structure. I hate it. Just, dude, buy your shit and fuck off already. Like, stop using money as a structure to tear everybody else down because you have something more than them. No one gives a fuck about how much money you fucking have. There's people that live with the bare minimum of fucking money and they're happy as fuck. Like...
You are an ass. A big, hairy ass.
And, like... You get people that sit there and they do the money structure thing and that, and they make fun of people now. That's like... That doesn't make you any more intelligent. I'll say it to you right now. Like, it doesn't matter. The more and more people fucking sit there and play these games with people's lives, the more and more, you know, well, you piss off God. And you start making God, you know, upset with how fucking dumb you are. Then you wonder why Sodom and Gomorrah got blown up. You wonder why that empires fall from within. I think people are starting to see it from that perspective now. You know, and I can't blame people. You know, God's trying to warn us, like, hey, get your guys' shit together in that, because shit is going to be corrected eventually.
Your body was not ready. Classy, but violent.
Because this is why we get people that come in our country that they hate America. They hate the will of what people actually want to do. And no one wants these people in our country. But people will say, well, they're humans too. I don't give a fuck if they're humans or not. It doesn't matter about that. All that truly matters is that these people are just fucking, they're tearing apart society now with their bullshit laws and their laws that they invent inside of the country. And this is why I don't like Islamic. That's why I hate the fucking Quran. Their values don't fucking work. And everyone is starting to know the Quran. They're starting to read that. They literally want to kill us. So no, fuck the Islamic fucking religion. Fuck the whole damn religion. Fuck them all. They're terrible fucking, like, people that follow that shit, at least to 100%, they know. We call them terrorists. Now, people that follow it because they were put into that position, because they had to or they were going to die, well, if you live in America, tell that religion to fuck off. And that's what it is. They're trying to say that, you know, their laws matter more than our laws. They say, well, your laws were fucking completely, utterly fucking made up for your own power struggle. See, your God is a fake God. Your God is a bullshit God. It's not even a God. Our God, the true God, Jesus, has power over your God. And you're sitting there getting all pissy and that because we say the fucking truth. Like, oh my God, you can't say that. I just fucking said it, motherfucker. You follow a demon. A lot of people are saying it's Baal. You know, which, you know, it probably is. You know, you guys follow fucking, you know, massively satanic fucking practices. You know, you are going to be the birth of the fucking Antichrist. It's going to be very obviously, it's starting to kind of push towards that direction. The thing of it is, like, people are starting to, like, get into that shit, and they're starting to, like, wow, this shit's fucked up. Yeah. See how fucked up it is? Read the Quran, they literally, like, rape children and shit. Like, what the fuck, you fucking for real, man? Those people are terrible fucking people that do that stupid ass shit. And now they're actually bluntly just talking about it. And then the actual Islamic, you know, countries and that, they're all saying, oh no, we're not like that. What do you mean you're not like that? Your Quran says to be like that. Well, yeah, but we don't have to follow it. Then why the fuck are you a Muslim then? Why don't you just be a Christian? Why don't you just follow the actual God? Why don't you follow Jesus? Jesus is the actual God. He's the one that overcompensates everything. He controls all the demons. Like, you guys sit there and follow this Baal guy that literally doesn't give a fuck about humanity. And you're all sitting there all happy for it. Like, oh yeah. Y'all want to sacrifice fucking children and that, and you sit there and complain that you don't get what you want. Of course you don't. Oh, I actually did kill this guy before. Yeah, it's gonna be a long ass fight. My own electricity fucking goes out. Jeez, bro. Yeah, Clash killed him so much faster. Dude, Clash is so much more powerful. My God. Success. There it is. Nice. SMG to pistol. I'd like to get like a shotgun version of it. Let's see how powerful this gun is. This class. I don't think anyone called me. Yeah, I want to come to work today for a little bit. I got bored and wide awake. I'll probably go up there and fuck around. Obviously they don't care. I'll probably just get fucking food.
Starting a fight. Me! Those poor kids.
Who's that fucker?
We're through.
Give me potato gun. Oh yeah, Clash is better. Hands down. Like, I have the same guns that the other guy has, and Clash does way more fucking damage. I mean, this gun's really fucking strong. And it has a Jacobs thing on it, which makes it even stronger. But the thing of it is, like, for some reason, like, her skills, like, maybe I have to rearrange her skills a little bit. I have no idea. But like, I got this life train thing, you know, and honestly, I could probably get it to boost up even more. But it's supposed to give me all that bonus kinetic damage with guns based upon her current life drain. Well, I got 30 of life drain, give or take. Sometimes it goes down to 20. But like, and this is really good. This gives you 42% when my shield's full. Well, my shield always stays full. You think it's a lot of damage, right? But Clash, bro, like Cash's damage is fucking ferocious. Like, I can't even imagine, like, maybe because he doesn't have to fucking reload. Because I never reload with that class at all because the refill thing is fucking crazy. I love that's the love of what it has to do with it, that I can refill my ammo.
Another fight comes my way.
I mean, like, I gotta see. I can go ahead. That's just, this shit's just better. Right, 25% gun damage. He gets that, eats that. And of course, she's a life drain knight. Dad's another. This is where it gets really good. He gets 81% kinetic damage because I got a really good perk on that. And this one's even better. This one converts. Nothing beats lead. Converts damage is increased by 120%. Elemental damage converted is 72% damage dealt. But he gets an increasement of it. That is fucking insane. Everything gets kinetic increasement. And if I go down this one, I get a fire nova, does fucking ferocious amount of damage. And like and this does the same thing. You know, that's after sliding throughout the fucking thing. Dude, dude, just fucking look at that shit. One zap. Like, all of his guns are just more powerful.
Killing you feels like a mercy.
Oh, I just fucking sneezed all over myself. Yeah, I need to go outside here a little bit.
You bet your life and love.
What the fuck?
Kanansi speaks.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the same guy. We're gonna do this. I mean, obviously, I don't have the best. Well, I do have. Well, that's what it is. I have the life drain thing on her. That's really fucking powerful. This is ridiculous. Like, that boss I just faced, got the Dark Beast from, is actually extremely fucking hard. That dude actually has enormous small life. But with this class, he's a fucking twat waffle. Yeah, I want that ricochet. I think I know where I'm going. No. I have an extra. There it is. Yeah, that little thing circles around, so that's the one. I guess if I got to raise up her damage more, yeah, it'd be better, but
I am seeing a whole new side of you.
oh no. Ah, what the fuck? Excuse me, sir. Shit. Motherfuckers everywhere. I literally auto died like 5 or 6 times in a row. Because they all jumped me. That's funny shit.
Look, it's supposed to be on my side.
Yeah, you better, bro. There's more guys in there.
Oh, almost rose snake eyes.
That was a lot of experience. Shit, that was probably like over 20,000 experience for that. Fun times. But yeah. I think what it is now, well, we need to wipe out the whole communist fucking thing that's happened in our country now. 100%. If they have these type of views that, they all go against our fucking constitution.
Tapping out already? That's what just they want.
Motherfuckers get so damn close. What the? There we go. Yeah, we take care of all this shit. And the truth is, if people get all butthurt about it, then they can just go with them. You know? I mean, they have to be structurally strict as fuck towards this shit. Because, like, it's destroying our country. Look at that shit. Dominated. Not long it took from other. I can equip any gun and do the same thing with it because the damage output this character's got. Ooh, what's this one? Reload speed and ordnance. Oh, that's an ordnance thing. That's okay. When cash deals ordnance damage to an enemy, the enemy becomes okay. Every cash kills her aid. Yeah. I can't beat what I have. Like, what I have is just makes this character OP. Let's see how this gun does. Yeah, if I think I could use that gun, man, like, you gotta take forever to kill. It's because, it's just because I can't. That's good. I don't have to reload. This guy's like, yeah, I eventually run out of ammo on that, but imagine shooting all like 214, 216 Doom shells. But it's good. I mean, it's good for enemies too, but it's best for bosses. Like, I need to get that that sniper rifle I have. Can you just have I use this sniper rifle? I don't think I activated it. But yeah. I'll go to corrosive.
Will get things moving.
That grenade's retarded. But yeah, there's just so many like normal people in society that no one wants communist shit. And I never fucking blame them. I think that's how a lot of people are in this day and age. Like, they just don't want it. And I don't blame them.
Didn't quit while you were ahead.
Like, people functionally want to get upset about things, and that's because you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Like, but anyone says that capitalism's bad, they're commies. Always commies. I said, it's because you're lazy, you don't want to work. I said, don't influence everybody else to be a lazy fucking nobody. And don't be the fucking crybaby that says, I can't do nothing because of how my life is, and that blah, blah, blah. Dude. The number one thing no one fucking gives a fuck about your baby. Oh my god, my life's so bad. People don't fucking care, bro. No one fucking cares. Like, I listen to people that they're like, well, I don't want a hard job. All jobs are supposed to be hard. All jobs are supposed to be tedious. All jobs are supposed to be the point where you have to fucking, like, you break yourself down and you have to build yourself back up. You know, it's just how society is. You're gonna deal with those problems no matter what you do. You know, you can't stress that enough that you're gonna be broken. You're gonna be broke. You're gonna deal with a lot of complications. You're gonna have to walk around with your fucking head cut off a little bit. You get to deal with, you know, novice, stupid, dumb fuck twat people and that. It's just how it is. But when you stop worrying about everybody else, you start putting things into just your perspective, then you start to grow as a person. You can't grow if you're worried about everybody else, what everybody else is doing. No, you care about people that actually need help. You give out advice. You're not supposed to hold people's fucking hands. You're not. Because then it destroys your life when you're trying to do too much for someone that doesn't want to see the truth. And sometimes people see the truth on their own eventually. You know, we are not God. We are not supposed to, you know, and we are supposed to try to implicate what Jesus did. But the problem with it is, faith is all over the place today. People lack faith. They lack a lot of faith. They don't want to be, you know, they don't want to be out there and trying to make life better for people. It's not to say you can't do stuff. You just don't kill yourself over it. Like, I truly firmly believe to help people is to give out good, wise information. Today in society and that, like, I'm collectively starting to go for channels and that talk against, you know, Islamic faith. You know, I feel bad for Muslim people that have to deal with this backlash because a lot of them don't follow the faith like the other ones do. I said, well, then you shouldn't follow it at all. Like, I always hear people that say, you know, that pork is unclean. And I'm just sort of like, wait a minute, no one else says that. Like, the Old Testament brought it up a little bit. But the way God talks, if you listen to the Corinthians and Romans and St. Paul, St. Peter, they're the best ones to listen to, and the theologians and that, they all talk in various ways, and they always say this: it's to not harm other people. If someone else has a different way of living than you and it works for them, then it's God's intuition for it to work. That's all it is. But if the way of them works and you infringe on that, say like you tell a person that's a vegan to eat meat, if they say no and you try to like get them to eat it, it doesn't work with them. Then when you're around that vegan, all you eat is vegan. That's how it's supposed to be. You know, just like if that person was a true believer and they said that, well, eat meat, you know, like, well, it's like, well, everybody eats vegetables. Everybody knows how to eat vegetables. But you don't let it harm them because you're trying to, you know, say that you know better than them. No, they live their life. That's why people get mad at vegans. Vegans always bash people for eating meat. I say you cannot bash someone else for the way they do things. And they want to say, well, yeah, that means you want control. It means you want your will. Your will don't mean shit. God's will means everything. So when you infringe on someone's will, that's how you get arguments. That's how you get the demons to arise inside of you. That's what Jesus was talking about the whole entire time. You let people live. If it's something wrong, like they break the 10 Commandments, you can preach to them and say, hey, you know, adultery is bad. Maybe you should be doing these type of things. Maybe you should be doing other things. Keep your mind busy. Keep yourself going. That's why work is so good. That's why you get all these like immature fucking riffraff people out there. They're on social media all day. They don't sit there and have a normal job. They want to sit there all day and, you know, and sit there and complain about, you know, the internet shit and be like, oh, well, I had to join something. Yeah, join the workforce. And their way of joining the workforce is like, well, I'm slave to the workforce. I'm like, but you make money with the workforce. That money can be used to do whatever you want to do. So yeah, but I don't want to work 40 hours a week. Like, what do you do your whole entire day? Well, I sleep and I eat. So you're eating food that you don't pay for. You're eating food that's not actually yours because you haven't worked for it. What did Jesus say? You know, if you don't work for your food, you shall not fucking eat. You shall not eat. He's given us the hint. You have to work for your stuff. Today's society, that we're not going out and cropping and planting fucking digging holes and shit. People think our lives are so hard. But look, our lives are the easiest they'll ever fucking get. We have machines and all kinds of technology that makes farming enormously more easier. They literally have seeder machines that are gigantic as fuck that plant seeds for us. We don't have to go out there and plant seeds. Now it's just an energy thing, yeah. We have to worry about fuel. That's why we have this energy issue now that Trump's trying to solve, that people get upset about with Iran. Yeah, the communist assholes are trying to fuck over the world again. What's fucking new? China's trying to do it. China knows that communists never fucking work. That's why everyone's bashing it so hard. Our Congress is finally getting involved with it. They're trying to push back against it. Like, got all these, and you know, because people are fucking bitching. Because we have a voter system. These people can't have power unless we vote for them. That's what these power struggles are. You got a lot of these dictator-ass people that are like Hassan Piker and all these fucking Islamic fucking terrorist people and that. Yeah, call out for what it is. Islam's always been killing Christian people for thousands of fucking, or at least for the last, like, 1500 to 1600 years. Yeah, get rid of all of them. I don't give a fuck what you do with them. And they don't want to follow the simple rules of being kind and respect others as the best you can. They have this, like, and that's what pride is. They have this pride that they think they're the special ones. Man, and it's like, do you ever read the Old Testament with Abraham? I don't think people actually understand this shit. They're fucking stupid. Abraham had two sons. He had one with a slave girl, and he had one with his wife. Because she couldn't get pregnant because she was old. Well, God ended up giving her a baby anyway. The slave girl one was the one that was supposed to rise a nation of Islam. It's supposed to fight against the Christian, raised other son. It's a battle between Abraham's children. But the Islamic child did not get the damn covenant of God. That's the reason why Islamists keep fighting against Christians. Because you ain't the fucking chosen ones. You're not chosen at all. You're supposed to keep us in faith. Because God's going to deal with your asses anyway. If you don't turn over and you become, allegiance to, to the actual one true God, which is, God, I am who I am. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. If you don't become intuition with Jesus and go through Christ and get the Holy Spirit and get closer to the Father in relations, I don't know what to say about you. You're damned. You always have a choice. That's what life is. You always have a choice. God doesn't want anyone to be dead. God wants everyone to be with Him. Because He knows who you really are. He knows the actual truth. We try to hide the truth. That's why we have all these satanic practices. And that's why we call it communist practice. They practice keep the power away from the people. That's what the bulk of Islamic practices is. If you don't obey us, we kill you. If you don't obey us, we go after your family. If you don't obey us, we take all your shit away. That's what communist is. And when people come to the country now, like I have a mosque next door and that. A lot of Muslim people, they don't obey the stupid laws all the time and that. But they're trying to push their laws forward with part of religion. No, your laws don't mean shit. You are dominated by Christ. You can practice your faulty religion all you want. But you can't ensure laws. And that's why they get these fucking people in office to push these agendas. And they all do it. They're trying to push Muslim, Islamic, terrorist agendas in our country. It's going to get to the point where you're going to start seeing an enormous amount of people start getting the Crusader 5 again. And you want an in-house war. And the chances of getting that are getting higher and higher each day. Not to say it's going to happen, because people talk to me, but most people don't want this shit. Even if they are, somewhat followers of the Quran, half these motherfuckers don't even read the damn thing anyway. Every time I talk to a Biden person, they're like, why don't you know what the Quran even is? I'm like, why are you even Muslims? Like, I don't know. I was raised this way. I was raised, to be a Muslim now. So most of you know what the Quran actually is. You actually tell them the Quran that, they can't think about it. It's like, does it really say that? They look it up. They're like, it actually does say that. I say, yeah. And they're all like, well, I don't want to follow that. That sounds disgusting. I'm like, well, that's just how Islamic faith is. Once you actually read it, if you have a good heart, because you actually have God with you, you look at it as it's wrong. And then people practice reading the Gospels. Jesus always talks about peace. Don't fight. Pull away from people. But he also says in Romans to, make my hands strong, make me fight against, my enemies, that torment the weak, that torment the innocent, that go after children and women. What do you think coward men do. They don't fight strong, developed men because they're pussies. They fight weaker. That's why the Islamic faith always goes after women. They actually fought against actual, like, men. They couldn't survive because they know. Look what happened with Iraq or Afghanistan. American soldiers went in there and they took fucking control of it. And you listen to the people that were terrorized by these terrorists. These were Muslim refugees. One of the guys used to talk to in that, he talked to his father in that, joined the anti-terrorist group in Iraq. And he joined in with them because he knew it was wrong. Then you're not a Muslim. You're a Christian. Muslims don't care about that when it comes down to their religion. Doesn't give a fuck. They only care about what they think, what their life needs to be like. That's why their end times is literally our Antichrist. Jesus put it in perspective very easily. He talks about everything that's going to happen. See, Islamic faith stops at end times of their Mahdi, which is our Antichrist, which is basically the same damn thing, comes up and everyone obeys Muslims. They say, well, everybody has to be Muslim. And that's the same shit they practice in the Quran. If you don't convert, you die. And that's what they do. They want to get rid of Jerusalem. They're attacking the holy city. But then their ending of their prophet, whatever bullshit prophet they want to say that said this shit, which probably wasn't anyone. They probably just copied what Jesus said and put in their own words, because that's what these people tend to do. They make up shit. Guess what? Their end day ends right there. And they don't think that there's nothing else after that. But see, this is where, the actual God comes in. Jesus, the actual true God, the one that actually made everything. He comes in and steps on his fucking head. And they're all going to see that come. Because they're going to say, well, they think that is their God. He comes in on the white horse. He imitates Jesus. Okay, of course. That's what all Islamic super high class cultist people do. They all want to mimic what God actually states in the actual New Testament, and they use it for their own power. Just like I would say most people tend to do that. Try to fall on what the freaking what the fuck is it called? The Mormons. Mormons are the same thing. I listen to these Mormon people talking about that. So what do you believe? So what do you believe in Jesus? Why don't you just follow the Bible then? The Bible already ended it. Everything's already been talked about. It already ended it. It's like, why do you want to sit there and add more onto it, which is just lies? I asked, why don't you actually just read it? It's like, well, we do read that, but we have our own way of I said, did you just say you have your own way of looking at God? Then you're a fucking fake piece of shit. You're stupid and massively fucking blasphemy towards the gods that actually give you this stuff. Like, you're retarded. Like, why do you even talk? You're stupid. Like, beyond stupid. Do you not listen to yourself? What did Jesus said this plain and clear. He said, do not believe anything after this. It's going to give you a new testament of this. He says you're going to have demons. They're going to act like angels of light. They're going to give you the new, they say, a new gospel. They are demons. They are not me. They are not God. They are not the Holy Spirit. They are not the actual angels of light. And these people prop up and they're cultists. And they believe in this sort of thing because they want to be the chosen ones. But you're not. Plain and simple. If you line with Jesus, you're chosen to be with heaven. So you act like Jesus. You try to push good things. You try to be as less negative as possible. You try to be more positive towards things. And you try to understand things. And that's what you do. you know, and that's what you push. You try to push that faith. That's why everybody goes after Christians. It gives you a promise, actual factor that Jesus was 100% right. They hate you and me and people that are Christians that love life. We want to bring peace to the world and that because they hated Jesus first. The Pharisees, all the crappy Jews out there that still don't think he exists, even though their Testament from Moses to Isaiah to Ezekiel to all these people, they all say talk about Christ. And even Jesus says, like, you don't believe the prophet Isaiah or Ezekiel that all talk about this. Where do you think all that came from? All those words that were given to them came from me, came from God. And like, I mean, honestly, if I was Jesus, like how dumb are you? Oh, they are dumb. That's why. You're stupid. People are dumb as fuck. But the reality is to try to think they have control. You have control over things, yeah, yourself and maybe a little bit of things around you and that, what you do with your life and that. But you have rules that sit there that govern you to not do bad things, which is hurt other people, steal, you know, the Ten Commandments, which are pretty much plain and simple. Gotta be a false witness. Don't lie. Don't make up shit. Push these agendas that are actually supposed to be helpful. It's probably why we see a lot of people in this world that they kind of, you know, they're back and forth with this shit. You know, they're worried about things that they have no control over. And that's why anxiety that stuff comes in. Like, for instance, something happens today. You know, I end up losing something that I lost. And what happens is, I said, okay, well, if I don't find it, then I'll find it tomorrow, you know? Because I don't know where it's at. I'm not going to bash my head over it. And the fact of it is, I don't care. And then, you know, people can get upset. And then this is where they start putting in their control. People want to say, well, why don't you care? And they start going to all this worry, like, what if this happened? What if this happened? Like, why do I worry about something that I have no control over? And then they go through that, and they start having more and more issues. They start wanting to pound it into people's heads, like, well, you should worry about this and that, this and that. So I shouldn't have to worry about nothing. And, like, I understand where people are coming from. But for me, it doesn't matter. Because it's mine to deal with. That's when you start to care about other people's things. Especially in that matter we have no control over. And that's where a lot of people start to have issues to. When people lack control because they can't control everything in their life, what happens? They get mad, they get angry, they get frustrated, they start getting, you know, they start going mentally fucking crazy. And they do it constantly because inside their minds they know they can't control that situation. So instead of just like calming down and saying, okay, well, I can't do nothing about it, maybe we'll just look for it later, they obsess about it. And what happens is they start to fight other people about it. They start making fun of other people, start saying these negative things. Why are you saying such negative things about And then they say this. This is comical because this is what a lot of people do. They'll say, well, if this didn't happen, this didn't happen, this didn't happen, then this would never happen. I said, well, when you could control the whole idea of reality, that maybe you could be like that, but you're not God, so stop thinking that you are. You're trying to imitate God's will, which is your own, and it never works because you don't have control over barely anything. You have control over your senses, what you see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, and what you think about that. But you don't know what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes. You don't know. You can have stuff into your head, yes. You personally can know certain things. Like I'm about to go out for a walk and that, because it seems to be kind of a nice day outside. So I'm gonna go out for a walk. And then I'm gonna walk around and probably sit there and I don't know. I'm probably gonna go upstairs and go take a shit or something. That's as far as I can go. I'm not gonna know that I'm gonna trip and fall on the stairs. I'm not gonna know that I might find that thing that I'm looking for. And that's what it is. I'm not gonna know anything. Cause I don't. Cause that's too much worry. Why the fuck do I want to know all that? I don't. And that's what it is. God said this on the Mount. Lord Jesus Christ said this. It was like the best thing God can tell everybody. He's like, give me everything. Give me your heaviness, as in your burdens, your worries, your anxieties, because he knows the truth. The truth is he knows you don't have control over everything. You get temptations every day. Everybody does. They all get temptations. It doesn't matter what you do in that. Temptations, if you could rip all temptations out of your life and live with God 100%, you would live in the purest of things ever. You would never want to not go. This is what the problem ends up being. We get tempted every day by demons. The demons always tempt us in that. Some of us get tempted different than others because God only lets certain things happen, but we still have to fight against it. If you don't have faith, you can't fight against temptation. You can try to do it on your own. This is why people lack faith, because they want everything to be about them and how they control things. I said, if everything was about you and how you control things, and you trying to represent your own personal God, but you're not God, because you have no control. You think you do, but you really don't. If you had control, then you wouldn't be fat. If you had control, you wouldn't be sitting there and arguing with everybody, because you would know why those things actually happen. Pride kicks in. Pride likes to lock in your mind in a certain way of living. It locks in your mind, and when anybody goes against that way of living, which is your own personal will, this ain't God's will, this is your own personal will, you argue and fight against it. You fight against everybody that goes against it. And of course, you'll have people that will agree with you, and it makes you think that you're superior because you believe that you are your own personal God. But that's stupid because you don't do nothing. If you were God, you'd be like, yeah, I need a coffee. Boop, coffee would appear. That never happens. You have to go upstairs, turn on your coffee machine, put your little canister in, close it off, wait for the coffee to pour, put some ice cubes in it or whatever it is, and then you have it made. So it means you don't really have control. That means you have to do these things to be able to. You have to do all these acts to get that. If you have full control, then everything would just appear in front of you. You used to be like, yeah, I want that. Boop. I want that. Boop. I want that. Boop. I want that girl with the big ass rack. I wanted to, give me a blowjob or something. Boop. It never happens like that. You have to work for it. Well, if you have to work for something, it means you have no control over it. You have to put in some type of effort to gain that following, to gain that thing. That means someone's controlling you to get what you desire. Everything controls us. We got laws, we got, people in our lifestyle, and that the way they talk towards us and that. Money controls how we spend or how we do things in life. So where's the control at? So no one can say that they're God because they have no control over fucking nothing. Money controls you to buy shit. You can't just pick it up. If you have full control of your life and that full control of everything, which people try to think they do, you can walk into a store, grab some ramen noodles and walk out and no one can say nothing. That's what people try to implicate. But you can't, because then laws kick in, then you're stealing, then you go to fucking prison. Then you get disciplined, because you're not following what the 10 Commandments are. You shall not steal. So, you can't steal. People say, well, people do it. People do, but it catches on. Like, people don't understand. Just because someone does something doesn't mean that if you do it, you don't get caught. Some people have a good reason to do those things. That's not, just like in Corinthians, it's nothing to do with you. God has purpose for every single person. Not every lifestyle is supposed to be the same. This is why equality is so fucking stupid. Not everyone's the same. God didn't make us all, have the same lifestyle. We were born for a specific thing. Everybody was. And so, someone could be born and then meet with someone else that was born, and you wouldn't even know how they would meet. That's God's plan. God puts people in specific places in that. He's like, infinite chess player. He's perfect in every damn thing he does. Everything he does is perfect timing. All of it, from everybody that you meet in your life, all the jobs that you have in that, all the things that you trip over and then get hurt over, you pick yourself back up, you keep on going. But the people that lay down and die are the ones that, end up, what you have psychotic, suicidal minds. They lay down and die because it's too hard for me to do it. And because they were, put in that perspective that life should be easy. Why in the world would you want life to be easy? I tell people about my job and that. It's like, man, I always say, if you go to the gym with me, you would never survive. You would never survive the gym. You'd be sitting there like, how do you do all this stuff and that? And I said, because the mentality of the will, the discipline of myself is so high that I can literally destroy myself and still walk home fucking obliterated. And I've done it enormous amount of times. And when I look at other people and that, they try to and I'm just like, that's my life. You can't do what I do because this is who I am. Now, I said, Jim, and I could do fucking 10, 15 sets of basically almost every exercise to a certain extent. And besides legs, because legs are a totally different beast. Like everything else, I do enormous amount of sets. My muscles could be completely fucking obliterated. Sore for days. And guess what? 2-3 days later, I can do it again. I try to teach other people, it's like, you couldn't do it. It's not your life to do. It's my life to do. I enjoy that shit. So I tell people working that, like, you think this is hard? I'm like, this shit's cakewalk. I do this shit in my fucking sleep. I literally drool and sit there like a fucking retard making food that people are fucking going crazy over because their discipline is so fucking low. And I'm just like, well, you guys need to just, make life harder for yourself. Learn more, educate more, get more healthier, eat better food. Take amino acids, take pre-workouts. Do all these things you could do to make your life easier, make your life better than that. Like people go to alcohol or weed, and weed doesn't do anything for you. Weed makes you retarded. Weed itself is terrible for you. People say, well, it's natural. A lot of things are natural, but when you abuse it, it doesn't mean it's good for you. There's a lot of poisonous plants out there that are fucking natural. If you eat them, you will die. So don't do the natural thing because that's fucking stupid. Because I work with stoners. I'm not saying they're bad people. Most of them are pretty nice in that. They got good hearts in that. But they lack a huge amount of focus. And their discipline is rather low. Not all of them are the same. No. But they're so used to being that way, they don't want to change it because they don't think there's anything better out there. I said, well, there is. Like, I take peptides in that. I'm always good to try out new stuff. I love it. That's why I try out new things. It's not a massive fucking boost, but it is helping me a lot. I was looking for alternative things to help me out with my skin disorder. And guess what? This stuff's helping. Because the truth of my skin disorder has a lot to do with my gut health. These doctors didn't tell me that when I went to the dermatologist. They didn't say. They said, well, it's a skin thing. Well, why is it occurring? And they're like, well, we don't know. Then why the fuck are you a doctor then? What's your main job? You get paid $150,000, $200,000 a year, motherfucker. What's your main job? Your main job is to support the people that have issues. And you're not. So you're giving me bullshit advice that's not even fucking right. I remember the last time I went up to a dermatologist, this was a while ago, about 10 years ago, and I asked, like, oh, what can I do? He's like, well, we can give you this medicine. You can rub out your skin in that. It does get rid of it, but it doesn't actually cure it. It gets rid of it on the skin, but doesn't actually get rid of it inside. And I said, well, what can I do natural? Well, let's take a lot of vitamin D in that. If you go out in the sun, that'll get rid of it, you know? But it doesn't actually get rid of it. It doesn't fix it. And then I go down the rabbit hole a little bit. And I'm like, oh, red dyed 40 fucked your gut lining up. And then now listen to other people that are actually not fucking retards and say, well, yeah, you have skin disorder because you have leaky gut. Your body's inflamming because of the bio in your gut is leaking out. You have to repair that. And then I looked up more about, peptides and that.
One
And
of
was
my
like,
greatest
okay,
passions is standing around
it
in
heals my
complete
gut lining.
silence.
Fuck yeah, I'm
Then
taking
gives
it.
me the
Get
time to
red
bask
dye
in
40.
my
I
own
don't need it
brilliance.
anymore. I push myself
Well
away from it
done.
100%. I'm very cautious over it. I don't do it because I know it doesn't work with me. Some people can eat red dye 40 till they die and it doesn't do nothing to them. But it fucks with my skin. That's what Jesus said. Everybody's different. Everybody has a way of living that's going to be slightly different than others. So you can't demand something over something else. Yeah, I think people need to eat more amino acids than that. But you can take supplements for that. If you're a vegetarian person that you eat a lot of vegetables, fruits, that you're getting more nutrition than most people. Now that's if you actually eat, not eating all that fake shit they put out there from the factories and that. You actually chop up your carrots and shit and, steam them, put salt, pepper on them and that, do that stuff and that. Eat your fruits and that. Fuck, you be doing good with that. Fruits got shit ton of amino acids in them. Well, anyway, I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna go outside, go fuck around, and I need to take a shit. So I'll see you guys when we get back. You guys have a good day. God bless.
What are my tasks for today? Let me see. Yes, hose rush and strip poker. Digistruct his belongings. Sell the copies to Rippers at a 20% markup. My day is booked. Mancubus. Sometimes I wonder if he always intended to give me these cards. Did I win that match, or did he? One of my greatest passions is standing around in complete silence. Really gives me the time to bask in my own brilliance. Well done, me. in different circumstances, the Fate Fields would be an almost idyllic place for a man to settle down. Not me, of course. This gambler needs to keep ambling on. always come sooner than I expect. I can see why Rush has taken to this place. I should turn my intrusive thoughts firewall off. Keep people on their toes. Mancubus. Sometimes I wonder if he always intended to give me these cards. Did I win that match, or did he? In different circumstances, the Fate Fields would be an almost idyllic place for a man to settle down. Not me, of course. This gambler needs to keep ambling on. Do I hide my wealth to combat new and unprecedented dangers, or give in to the instant gratification of something new and extravagant? I am feeling new. Better watch for puddles. Last thing I need is to be stuck in the rain. In different circumstances, the Fate Fields would be an almost idyllic place for a man to settle down. Not me, of course. This gambler needs to keep ambling on. The grass is always greener until the tyrants come and make it red.